I'm Alan Brzezinski, and I'm at the American Legion Post 72 in Saugerties, New York on December the 19th, 2004, and I'm interviewing Robert Lewis.
Put that Robert L. Lewis, because we have two. My nephew's got the same name.
Okay. Okay, Robert.
Now in that, you get into the Albany Medical Center.
Okay.
There's two Robert Lewises up there. I got to use my middle initial all the time. They both had the same 4 digits on the Social Security.
You were in the Army Air Force?
My story is different than most because I was in the Army artillery. We had 40-millimeter guns. And when we came home on furlough on December the 13th, why, when we went back, we were supposed to go overseas. But when we got back to Camp Stewart, we found out that they're going to give us other training, airborne training. So then we practiced loading guns and things like that there in airplanes. And then they sent us to Camp McCall, North Carolina, for training up there. And there were 3 outfits went up there. And after the training for gliders and airplanes, we had special guns made and everything else. And we went out to the firing range, we got the best score, so they sent us overseas. Go through state and states for the whole time.
Were you drafted or did you enlist?
The first time I tried to enlist, they told me I had flat feet and they couldn't take me. But 6 months later, they took me.
Where were you living at the time when you were enlisted?
I was with the, where was I working or what?
Yeah, were you living in Saugerties, Kingston?
No, I was in Saugerties area, but I was working for Canal Brothers.
Okay.
When you had the mushroom business. But then, after we got overseas, they sent us overseas, and we went to, we spent 45 days on board ship going across. Because we went out from Newport News and down to the Caribbean and crossed along the south of America. And we cut over to Australia, New Zealand and Australia, refueled there, went around the bottom of Australia, up on the coast of Africa. It took us 44 days, and we were unescorted the whole time. We had about, oh, I'd say close to 7,000 men on board.
So this was early 1942?
Oh, no, 43.
43?
Yeah. And actually, it was 44, actually, because, as I said, it was 43 when I finished my training down there in Georgia, and then we didn't leave until June after we had finished with the Camp McCall.
So that's where your boot camp was? Where was your boot camp?
In Georgia.
Fort Stewart.
Yeah, we took our training and everything.
Remember any of the instructors?
Well, the only one I kept in contact with quite a few fellows from my outfit. Yeah. Matter of fact, I did run a reunion for about 10 years. I had stopped it about 3 or 4 years ago because I couldn't get enough guys to arrange for deals with the hotels, so we had to stop. And there's still a few of them I have contact with, and you know, I had contact with a couple officers too, but I lost contact with them. And our colonel that we had was a guy by the name of Colonel Corkin. And after the war was over and everything else, he was assigned to Stewart again. But then he went out turkey shooting, you know, hunting turkeys. He got behind a bush and some officer, I think it was a warrant officer, shot him. Killed him.
Hunting
Yeah, he died of a hunting accident. But he was a nice guy. And after we got overseas, we landed in Bombay. It took us about a week to go across India, and we were up into what they call Assam. And we were up in Assam, that's right near the Burma border.
Right?
Yeah. And we were there for a while, and then They sent us into Burma. We flew into Burma. Missional. I don't know how I ever got the name Missional because it's spelled M-Y-K-Y-I-N-A. To me, it's Mayikaina, but they always call it Missional. And while we're there, we were always split up. I went to, in the service was Frank Stovall, and he was from Ruby. From the time we got into boot camp, or in the Stewart, that's the last time I seen Frank. We were in the same outfit. But we were so separated, I mean, the outfit was so separated when we got overseas that I never seen him again until after the war was over when I met him in Shanghai. Now, that's another story. When we got into Burma, after Missional, why, they wanted us in China, but ground forces weren't allowed in China. So we changed all our spec numbers, our specialty numbers.
Your specialty was exactly what, artillery?
It was artillery, but I was in the intelligence part of it. So I knew what was going on most of the time.
More than anybody else.
There was only about 8 of us in that section. We had our own captain, that's all. And we were responsible to him, no one else. So anyway, they changed all our spec numbers over to the 14th Air Force. And they shipped us into China as 14th Air Force. We were 14th Air Force now, no more ground force.
Did you ever meet Claire Chenault, or none of the Flying Tigers? Or?
Oh, yeah, quite a few of them, as far as that goes. But we were over there to guard the B-29 fields when we started bombing Japan. And those things used to come in our base and fuel up. And they used to take anywhere between 8,000 and 10,000 gallons of fuel. And then they go down, bomb Japan, turn back around, come up to our place, refuel, and then go back to their home base, which is located in India.
Did you ever have to fly over the Himalayas?
Oh yeah, I got them. I flew them. Yeah. And even today, I belong to the 14th Air Force, and we have the CBI. We have our own organization. We meet once a month, and we usually eat at a restaurant. We meet at different places between here and down below Newburgh. And the wives go with us, always. If it wasn't for them, I guess we wouldn't have an organization. And this is actually our 2005 will be our last year for the organization itself. But we call ourselves bashes because it's the type of huts we lived in when we were in India. And they were just bamboo shacks like. And I think the wild dogs there, they used to run in and around our cots and back out again every night.
Did you ever keep contact with your family? Ever keep contact from India or China with your family?
Oh yeah. We had mail and everything else. But we had close to, what did they say, somewhere around 250,000 people. It was over there. And you had the infantry, you had everything. I mean,
did you ever meet Merrill's Marauders? Or?
Oh, I see them, yeah. Matter of fact, I passed out beer to them one time. They're going fast. We happened to get some, and it was the first beer we had in a long time. And well, in India, you can't keep it going very well unless you bury it.
Get any medals or citations or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, this is our roundup from our CBI.
Show for our camera, that's our.
And it shows us different pictures here, and inside there's letters from different guys and different outfits and everything else. And fact, here's something you might want to look at.
She can zoom in with the camera, Mike.
But you can see what,
Yes. Yeah, in India.
and see what it says on the bottom.
So you have some pictures there, I mean, Japanese flag here, picture of, it's like artillery.
This is Camp Stewart
Stewart?
here.
Stewart, Georgia, which is now Fort Stewart.
Here's a little booklet we had that, in case you got captured, that's your rights.
Not that I think the Japanese would pay attention to
Now,
any of our rights.
This is the original 40mm gun. That's what it looks like. And you see here, it's all heavy duty.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if I got you.
Is it from India?
No, this is the big one too.
Can you show that up for?
There's another one.
Okay.
Well, this is the setup of the 14th Air Force. All the different outfits that was into it.
Mm-hmm. All their associated units, the
14th Air Force. All the different fighter groups and
Or
everything
or
else.
battlefield,
Yeah.
right.
Or any kind of support groups or anything else that they had to have.
I'm interested in this flag here. You have a large, and you have a CBI. You have a also a China Burman
This is the battle flag.
Japanese.
Right now, I got it. Oh. Let's tie it together. Tie it together. There we go.
And this here.
This is the new guns that we had furnished. They're, matter of fact, was taboo to even have a picture like this because it was one of a kind. Okay, now here's the Japanese flag.
There we go.
It goes this way.
Ah. Okay.
That shows you the outfit and everything else on there, but I can't read Japanese.
Our former state commander could read Japanese.
Can,
Yeah, Fang Wang. He told us about when we had one of our flags in the museums. He says, "Yeah, but it's set sideways."
Your medal, Bob, is in
where are they?
your medal is in the
Yes.
That's
Now, this one here, right there,
Showing up for our.
that one right there,
the original.
was given to us by Chiang Kai-shek after the war was over with.
It's black.
And no one else has that except the ones that was over there at that time. Because the ones they come out with after the war are fancier, you know, got gold and everything else. And that was very blah. You see it? It's this one right there.
And your rings.
And then he gave us a photograph also, which I couldn't find, of him, and it was autographed.
Chiang Kai-shek autograph.
But I got it yet somewhere home in an envelope.
Wow.
And then the wings, June, where are they?
You're probably on that.
Oh, right here. This here is the wings that we were awarded over there. And they're the only ones, we were the only outfit that ever could wear those.
Special.
And they're airborne, but it shows the 40mm guns, the big 40mm guns crossed. And I'm gonna say, we're the only ones, and you can look at it then. And if I had it out of there, on the reverse side, you can see the Chinese writing on the back of it, because they made it up. In order to make them up, we had to collect 50-cent pieces, because there's silver.
So,
And then we give them so many of those things. Like this ring here was made out of 2 silver dollars, 2 half-dollars rather, Ben Franklin's. One went to the ring, and the other went to the guy who made them. And at one time, it had my name in Chinese, and the city changed too onto one side, and it had my name in Chinese and English. But I wore it so many times that it just wore out. And also, in my pocket,
yeah.
I have 2 coins. One, these here, this one here, I was told by another Chinese fellow that was 1913. At one time it had English on one side and Chinese writing on the other side. And it was like brand new mint condition. And now you can see it's all worn off. There's nothing there. This one here, one side is off, the other one you can see a little bit. And I carry these with me every day of the week, ever since I got out. And that's why they're worn down so much.
This here is interesting, Chinese and American flags.
Yeah, this here, the pilots all had these on the back of their jackets when they flew. And what it was, this is here the Chinese flag. This is an American flag. This is our CBI patch. And over here, in case they got shot down, they were supposed to, the Chinese could read this and help them get back to their own lines, and they got a reward for it. But it was very dangerous because in a lot of cases over there, you had so many warlords, and the Chinese or the Japanese were offering rewards for the men as well as what have you. So yeah, this here you might want to read it and keep it if you want to. It's a little article on Valley veterans. And it's written by someone in CBI. And
Okay.
this here and here you can keep. This is written by our Colonel Corkin. It's the history of our battalion, the 43rd.
Do you have any memorable events that happened while you were in China or anything?
Not really. Here's another story right here of one of the fellows' experiences of our trip over there and everything else. I do have at home, when I went over, I kept track of everything that happened. I had a little bit of a notebook. I don't have it with me, but it was a little tiny one, and I kept track of everything. And I can tell you where we were practically almost every time and when. Every depot or every little station we went past, or every little town going across India, I got written down. And every other thing, and I have it all written down at home, and I have it published along with our trip all the way across, and the whales we've seen and what have you.
Tell them about the headhunters.
Huh?
The headhunters.
Oh, the headhunters? Yeah, we got friendly with a plantation owner over there, a tea plantation owner, and he was telling us about the Naga headhunters. They were up in the mountains in back of Sam where we were camped. And he said they don't hunt, they haven't been active lately. It's been a couple of years now. So he told us where they were, general locality. And so my buddy and I, we decided we were going to go up there and see, headhunters. So my captain heard about it, And he said he wanted to go. So then the captain of our outfit, our company, he heard about it, so he wanted to go. So we had 2 captains and 2 privates going up there. And it was way up in the jungle. And they had a path going across, and one ditch, I remember we jumped across it, was just a little darn thing. And had water into it, but it just wasn't nothing. And we got up to the headhunters, and all around the village they had these stakes in the ground, and they had skulls onto them. And they all had loincloths. And after we were there just a short time, I gave them cigarettes, everyone cigarettes, and they enjoyed them. And every once in a while, 1 relief or 2 reliefs, 3 relief, and then they come back and then they had clothes on them. We had, you know. So it was really a nice thing. And the shacks they had, the bamboo ones, they had a bamboo floor and they were built out over cliffs. And you walk down through them, they were going like this. You didn't know whether you were going to go down through them or not.
Did you ever have any Japanese ever attack your camps or try to bomb them or anything?
Oh, we had bombing raids. Oh, yeah, we had quite a few of those. Yeah. As a matter of fact, after I got into China, I was on, they took 50mm guns from the airplanes, and they had 2 of them mounted on a pole, and then, you know, on a swivel, and that's what I was doing. I was on a machine gun then when I got there. And when we got into, we were, when I was in, after the war was over with, as I said, I was in intelligence, so I knew what was going on. And I knew that they wanted somebody with my spec number for the 528th Fighter Squadron, which was way up in Xi'an, way up north, and right near the communist area. And I volunteered for it.
So you went into
I went to
red
Xi'an,
areas?
from Shang to Xi'an, and I went there, the 528th Fighter Squadron. I got in there, and the colonel said to me, he asked me what I was doing, I told him what I did. He says, I don't know what the hell they sent you up here for. I says, well, I didn't change the spec numbers, you did. So that was that. So then the only thing I had to do was make out maps for the pilots going out on patrol to make sure the Japanese were pulling back the way they were supposed to be pulling. And I made out 5 or 6 sets of those, and it was finished for the next morning. And I had it easy. We got into Shanghai, and I went up to the 528th because I knew they were going to go into Shanghai. And we were one of the first groups in Shanghai.
All the way to the coast, yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we took over the China Clipper base. It was a Japanese base, it was a barracks and we took over that. And,
You didn't see the atomic bombs, did you?
I didn't see those. B-29s left our area, Changtu, I'd say 5 or 6 months before the war ended. They went down to the islands, and they bombed Japan from the islands then. And so actually, we didn't have anything to guard anymore because we had driven the Japanese back quite a ways. But as I say, we were airborne anti-aircraft, but the China coast was supposed to be invaded by us. And we had a group of our men on the airfield, and we were supposed to go in with our 40mm guns and act like behind the lines of the Japanese and use them as artillery. But fortunately, the war ended before we had a chance to do that, which was a very good thing.
Do you have any Japanese, you didn't take any Japanese prisoners or have anything?
No.
I don't think so.
Now, getting away from that, in our Basha, we have one of the members was a pilot, and he was a pilot in Germany.
German pilot.
And he got shot down over there. He was in prison quite a while in Germany, and he escaped. And he got back to the American Army. After he got back, they wouldn't let him fly anymore in Germany because they're afraid if he got shot down again, they'd kill him. So they sent him over to our place. He got shot down over there. He was a prisoner with the Japanese, and he didn't realize the war was over with until 2 weeks after it.
Wow.
And then we have another guy that also that was when they had the bombing of the bridge there. I can't his name now. I had it around the tip of my tongue. Over the River Kwai.
Okay.
The bridge over the River Kwai. He was the lead gunner, or lead pilot, rather. And he was only a sergeant, I think it was. But in the movies and everything else, they all had officers.
After the war ended, what happened to you when the Japanese had surrendered in China and then coming home?
Well, I didn't come home with my outfit. That's why I say the 528th, I went to the 528th. Out of our outfit, we had about 700 men altogether. And the listing I got of the men coming home was about 200. All the others were shipped everywhere else. As I said, I met Frank Stovall back in Shanghai at a nightclub, where I ran into him. And that's the first time I'd seen Frank since we went into service together. And yeah, as I say, it was interesting. And then we were there, we got there in September in Shanghai, and we left on Christmas Eve, or on, Christmas Eve, we left Shanghai. And we got into Fort Lewis, Washington on New Year's Day, the day before New Year's.
Now, you were discharged from the Army Air Force or the Air Force?
From the Air Force.
The Air Force.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was just an oddball thing, but that's where we were. Yeah, went in the Army and come out to the Air Force.
Do anything? Did you take any course, anything with the GI Bill or any education after the war was over?
No. Well, I worked for Shapiro's there under training, under the GI Bill. That's all. And the only thing, other thing we had was our house. When we bought our house finally.
On the VA.
There was a VA helped us out there.
So after Fort Lewis, you'd come back here to Saugerties?
Yeah.
West Camp.
What's that?
West Camp, okay.
Matter of fact, I was going through mine and I got all my paperwork from the time I went in the service, even the notice when they sent it. And
That's his house. That's interesting. Give it to him, let him look at it.
You should put on the camera.
That's this company.
these are all pictures. Now, this I gotta explain to you. A fellow in our outfit, I was looking for him for a good many years. He was a sergeant. I could never find him. The only address I had was Chicago. And in going through your things, only thing we had was a home address when they were young people. And here I didn't get the addresses until, of the ones that came home together, until, oh my God, it was about maybe 15, 16 years ago. So I tried everywhere. I went to phone company and got phone books and everything else. Couldn't find anybody. I had phone books of everyone in the boroughs in New York City. Because a lot of our outfit was from New York City. And, well, make a long story short, I was talking to my grandson, and he was out in Chicago. and my wife was talking to him, and I asked her to ask him if he could find out anything on him. And while she was talking on the phone, he gave me a phone number in Florida, because he was great at computers. Anyway, I wrote a letter, or I called down there, and I got a hold of the fellow's sister. He had passed away a year before that. And he said, and she said that, I'm glad you called. She says, I'd like to send you his album, because I have no one else to give it to. She said, I was going to throw it out. And this is his album.
Wow. So he passed away.
It's everything into it, from the time from Stewart.
Looks like he kept, yeah, everything he had since older
I had
condition.
I had to tape it up, so it was so bad.
Yeah, I see that.
And then Flying Tiger, Big Money. Couldn't follow the outfit. You can see how bad it is. There's a book of foot. This is India. Learn how to speak the English language.
Indian.
And there's,
Yeah,
the Japanese were going to before we went into Mission, they had invaded the part of India. And they had even had rupees made up of the money, the Japanese occupation money. And but we stopped them. When we got Mission, we stopped them from doing that. So I still got a couple of those coins or bills around home.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, thank you very much for,
In the other album,
This is my own album.
Okay.
This is Camp Stewart and
there's also one on the passion, a picture of the passion. And all the planes that they took.
oh my gosh, yeah, they're the older albums.
Should I go
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead, yeah.
get to this?
Another one.
Yeah.
Well, this is some of the
Try and zoom.
things.
If you can zoom in with the camera here on, we should be able to zoom in. I know my albums from the 70s are falling apart,
Yeah,
so
these are good.
they're much older, so.
Oh, yeah.
It fell in the car here, this one. That's all the planes.
Show them up for
Oh, yeah.
our camera.
No, ain't the same one.
Okay, there's one here, every plane is.
Every plane that was in service, either foreign or what have you. And at one time, I could name every one of them by just having a flash on the top.
Recognition, yeah.
And that's all they're taught.
Mhm.
There's the passion.
Ah, okay,
That's what a passion looks like.
okay.
Yeah.
Show up for the camera.
That's one of the bachelors.
Mhm. Okay, it's a pretty good color picture.
Well, this one here, the fellow made these things up.
You made them up? Okay.
Yeah, little models, and they used to raffle them off, and I
That's
won
every
one of them.
plane that the United States had.
Yeah, that's the planes.
Every one.
Every one of the food,
Mhm.
World War II. And we still take them out, and they test you on them, you know,
Right.
Okay.
That's your
Oh, that's, he was a lieutenant.
Camera.
That's
Matter
reunions.
of fact, my
They did so
grandson
many of them.
is in the Air Force.
Mhm.
He went to school in, college rather, down in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
And after, when he graduated from college, he went into ROTC.
ROTC.
They paid for the college.
Mhm.
They gave him a certain amount of money every month,
Mhm.
spending money. The day he graduated from college, after he got his diploma there, went to another part, and he got his wings, second lieutenant wings. Today, you know what the pay is for that second lieutenant? $32,000 a year.
Just
And then he
Much more
went
than we
to,
had.
he spent a couple of years over in California. And then he went to Greenland because his colonel told him it's a choice spot.
Mhm.
So he went over there, and when he came back, they gave him a credit card. And he went across the United States on the credit card and handed it in, and gets over to California, and they pay for it. They give him so much for his rental.
Mhm.
And while he was out there in California, he got his first lieutenant bar. That gave him another $800 more per month.
Yeah, much more than when you had made.
Oh, God, he was getting about $20 a month.
Right? Okay.
But same token is, when I went in the service, I worked for Knauss Brothers for 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. And my paycheck was $12.50. But then again, you could buy 7 gallons of gas for $1. Now look at it.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Lewis.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. So, thank you.
Okay, thanks very much for
I know.
sharing your experiences with
Now this is fine.
us. So we're all stopped now?
How do you stop this the whole time?
Yes.